I don't know what's more confusing, learning astrology or just being a human. Moonday Musings is here to help with that. A weekly, no bullshit guide for the upcoming cosmic forecast and how you can actually use this in your real life. Hello, neighbor. Happy Monday, my friend, and happy Moonday, and welcome to another episode of Moonday Musings. If this is your first time here in our witchy little neighborhood, hello, I'm Danny. I'm that witch next door, and I'll be your host, your guide, your mentor, your spiritual bestie in all things modern witchcraft and cosmic living. Moonday Musings is here to go through the Astro highlights of the week and talk a little bit about how you can work and apply this information into your modern life and witchcraft practice. Let's dive straight into things today because we've got Mars moving into Virgo this week and we have the Sun moving into Cancer, starting Cancer season, bringing us our summer solstice. Lots to chat about today, my friend. First and foremost, I love me a good Virgo transit, and I think that there is a lot that Mars likes about being in the sign of Virgo. Mars energy is very, very high energy, can handle and benefits from a lot of stimulation, especially physical stimulation because it is a planet of action, but there can be plenty of cerebral stimulation, even emotional stimulation, anything high energy and high action like that for Mars as a general planet tends to feel pretty, compatible with that planet. This is because Mercury is a planet that rules over our mind and nervous system, and a very big piece of that is in stimulating that system. So Mercury also has a very, very high tolerance level for high energy, intense stimulation, and therefore, as two separate planets, they can benefit from and function pretty well in some similar signs. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And so when Mars moves into Virgo, it can handle this big uptick in energy. It can handle this high stimulation demand that Virgo kind of naturally craves in a lot of way. When Mars is in Virgo, we are analyzing, we're reworking, we're reframing, we are shifting, we are improving, we are refining. And there is a lot of action that Virgo really, really likes to take. A big natural initiator is Virgo, and Mars loves all of those things. If we're taking action, if we're initiating, if we're jumping right into something, Mars is like, I am all about that. So Mars tends to function relatively well in Virgo. So let's take a look at when and how long this transit is going to be. So this particular Mars in Virgo chapter is beginning tomorrow, Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. Moves into Virgo at 4:35 a.m. Eastern time. And it's going to stay in Virgo until August 6th when it moves into Libra and moves on to a new chapter. We will cross that bridge together when it comes. For now, during this Marg and Virgo, Mars in Virgo transit, you can expect / maybe plan to get some things executed. Get some shit done. This is a good time for taking advantage of that and being really, really mindful of burnout. So because Virgo has this really high tolerance for stimulation and action and lots of different levels of activity, Virgo has to put that earth sign forward, okay? So Virgo is ruled by the air planet Mercury, but Virgo is an earth sign. And so when Virgo really honors its physical capacities, when it honors its human nature, often by reconnecting with earth nature. Can't you see all the earth nature around me? But when Virgo really honors its human nature, especially by connecting or reconnecting with earth nature, this is how we keep Virgo capacities functioning on high efficiency without fucking ourselves over, without running ourselves into the ground. Some of the shadow qualities of Mars being in Virgo is like ridiculous expectations. Okay. So you got to be mindful of that. Thinking we can handle way, way more than we can. And my friend, this is kind of a big one, thinking others can handle way more than they can. So parents, caregivers, bosses, supervisors, anybody that has influence over or delegates over, right, presides over other people in any capacity, please be mindful of having unrealistic expectations. Sometimes these unrealistic expectations come from, making like seeing somebody else's experiences and capacities the same as our own, when the truth is we don't all function the same, and our functions and our capacities, our operations are very unique and different from other people. Not just how we operate, but how we recover and repair and rest and restore ourselves, how we initiate, the way that we're able to, the amount of time that it takes, and the way that we're able to process something in order to accomplish it. All of these things are different factors to take into consideration and to make decisions that are as realistic as possible. And one of the best ways to do this is to be really human nature forward, like I said, to be really earth placement, earth energy forward during this Mars and Virgo transit. Remembering that we all need recon time, we all need downtime, we all need to chill, we all need to take breaks. Even those people that are the type of people that can function even really well with like fewer or less breaks are still not exempt from this law of rest and rejuvenation. Okay. So being really earth forward, recognizing limitations around capacities, not as these like hindrances, and maybe not even trying to see them as obstacles, even if they kind of are, but trying not to necessarily see them as obstacles, and instead look at them as these unique building blocks, unique factors that we need to take into consideration so that we are functioning at our best, and recognizing that our best looks different from somebody else's best, especially when you're taking all these different factors into consideration. Okay. Now, let's talk about the upcoming big, bright, beautiful, brilliant, abundant summer solstice. So this year's solstice, technically, depending on your time zone, the sun moves into Cancer on Friday the 20th at 10:42 p.m. Eastern time. So depending on where you are at in the world, sun moving into Cancer, the beginning of Cancer season, the mark of the summer solstice can be taking place Friday the 20th or Saturday the 21st. Now, up here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're marking summer solstice. However, hello to all of our Southern Hemisphere neighbors, and happy winter solstice to you, upcoming winter solstice. Up here in the Northern Hemisphere, as we get prepared to enter into the summer solstice, this is like big, juicy, beautiful, abundant energy. If we were using the metaphor of like the lunar cycle in reference to our calendar year and the patterns that the sun takes through our equinoxes and our solstices, on the summer solstice would be equivalent to the full moon peak period of a lunar cycle. So we're big, we're brilliant, we're bright, we're shining, we're illuminating. There's a lot of clarity. There's a lot of optimism. There's a lot of natural connection. There's a lot of reward going around and being embraced. Summer solstice represents like when we talk about fertility, I want you to think of being fertile in this way of like attracting and being one with abundance energy. This can directly relate straight up to child rearing, conception, pregnancy, literal fertility, but also in this analogy and metaphor of fertile, abundant, prosperous energy and lands. Like we're really thinking of like big, full, abundant agricultural fields, right? This is where we gather a lot of the symbolism from our summer solstice energy. This is beautifully aligned with Cancer season, as Cancer represents this big, full, mother-centric, caregiver-centric, full moon energy. Think of like the metaphor of like big, full, pregnant belly, big, full, ripe, juicy fruit. Like this is summer solstice energy. We've got a lot. When we think of abundance, we've got a lot. Sometimes summer solstice, I'll say oftentimes, brings us this simultaneous energy of, like cue the angels, the hallelujah, that type of abundance, like, oh my God, we are so blessed, we are so grateful. And abundance brings experience of overwhelm and suddenly having so much and not knowing what to do with so much. So in just this amazing book, Regenerative Business, if you haven't already read it, please do. I'll link it in the show notes below. Let me make sure. Let's make sure we write that down so we link it in the show notes below. Regenerative Business is amazing for anyone who just works for a living. It's definitely geared toward entrepreneurs, but I think there is so much in that book that just as a person who has any type of job or career in any way, you can pull so much amazing information from that book, and it really helps you layer and work your spirituality and your energy work in tandem with your professional life. But in Regenerative Business, the concept of abundance is, I love the way that she paints the metaphor in there. If you've ever grown a zucchini plant before, zucchini is very, very well known for being like, it is this almost overabundant plant. It's almost over fruiting. There is this very common camaraderie between gardeners and anyone who's ever grown zucchini before, that you will eventually get to a point where you do have more zucchini than you know what to do with. And this is what she offers in perspective in Regenerative Business. But when we have an overabundance, the next best, most beautiful thing that you can do, my friend, is share, is offer that to others. And especially in this metaphor of food, like something that was nurtured and grown in your garden, and now you have this beautiful, beautiful problem of overabundance. Passing that on and keeping that beautiful ripple effect going forward of offering that and sharing that with your literal or metaphorical neighbor, such a beautiful metaphor for the summer solstice and Cancer season in general. This is a time that we can experience overwhelm and just having or receiving too much. That might be physical material of some kind, like this food analogy, but it could also be emotional overwhelm. It could be workload overwhelm. Again, where can you find someone to share this load with. That might just look like sharing the mental load and finding a safe space to talk about and process it and let some of that overwhelm go in that way. It might look like asking someone for help and seeing if they can share the actual workload or share the actual burden with you in any way. This is not a time for over relying on our hyper individualism and our tendencies to isolate. This is a great time for, especially if this is challenging for you and for any reason, for putting ourselves outside of our comfort zone and opening our arms up to others and letting them in and saying, I need others. I need help. I need connection, or I need whatever that looks like. But this is a beautiful time for kind of opening up our arms, opening up seats at our table. Like, again, literally, metaphorically, I love that this particular Cancer season, we have Jupiter now in Cancer, and it will be in Cancer over the course of the next year. If you don't know much about, or you didn't hear my last musings about Jupiter and Cancer, I highly recommend going back and listening to last week's episode. It provides I think it would just provide like such beautiful context for this week as we move into actual Cancer season and move through the summer solstice. But Jupiter in Cancer, to sum it up, really just emphasizes all of this energy I'm talking about and really opening up our arms. So when we think about overabundance, whether we are experiencing that in that vibration of like, oh my God, I'm so blessed, I have so much, or we're experiencing that in a, oh my God, I have way too much, I don't know what to do. I encourage you to open your arms to others and share that in some way, because I think it is only going to nurture and grow this energy and help us align with its highest potential for us in our life. So, we are going to move into our card reading in just one moment. I do want to take a brief second to thank today's episode sponsor, which is, of course, Podzilla Productions. Podzilla Productions is the company of my husband, Jared, and he has well over 17 years of producing, editing, mixing, working with audio, and is exactly why That Witch podcast has always had such nice professional sounding audio since the very beginning of my show. So Jared takes his craft very seriously, and he is a natural perfectionist at heart who truly cares about offering top quality services to those podcast hosts who might not be making as much from their show as some of the big timers out here and can't afford to dump hundreds and thousands of dollars into editing. So I have found in my work that the biggest reason people hold themselves back from starting a podcast or being able to keep up with it in the first place are the demand of editing, whether it's running into issues and having to waste hours trying to figure out and DIY how to fix an audio problem, or just the ongoing consistent responsibility of editing your show once a week, twice a week, stacks up. Because this isn't something that you're experienced in. It's not something you're very fast in. And you are pouring hours and hours that quickly add up to resulting in you dropping this dream of yours altogether. Stop wasting all of that time and energy and let somebody more experienced and way faster at the process do it for you so that you can get back to focusing on what you do best, which is creating content and growing your podcast without having to drop hundreds or thousands of dollars into editing. If this sounds helpful to you and you are looking for more information, how to even start your podcast, what mic to get, what software to use, what equipment you're looking at, Jared has you covered, my friend. You can get all information in the show notes below or visit podzillaproductions.com, or you can send Jared a direct email as well and inquire. So remember, go to podzillaproductions.com or go to the show notes below. And now, my friend, we are going to move into this week's card reading. I invite you to get into a nice, comfortable position for yourself. Maybe roll back your shoulders, roll out your neck a little bit. If it feels good to close your eyes right now, let yourself take some nice, deep breaths. And when you're ready, I invite you to open yourself up, open your heart and your spirit to any messages, any insight, any guidance that you may be needing or seeking at this time. And so coming in today, which is so cool with summer solstice energy, we've got some bright, bold energy today. Okay. Coming in from our Golden Universal Tarot deck is the Chariot, my friends. Upright and everything, we are on the move. This is super right in tandem tracks with Mars in Virgo that we were talking about. We also, from Spirit Allies, pulled the Aries card today from the suit of the Zodiac in the Spirit Allies deck. So when I take a look at the Chariot card and I frame this in our astrological forecast for the week, I definitely see instantly the moment it came out, I was like, our wheels are turning. We are moving. We are going forward. Things are happening. Even if this is happening in really, really, really small ways for you and you've been having to really, let yourself recognize the small yet steady forward markers of process, or you are a person that is just feeling like things are not slowing down and things are just moving and grooving. I definitely see a lot of movement here. I see this as kind of a picking up energy, especially since we are getting the Aries card with it. This really feels like a ramp. Get it? The ramp. Okay. It feels like a big ramp up in this energy. Like it's giving a lot of energy and fuel to this Chariot forward movement energy. Let's read what the Aries card says from the Spirit Allies deck. But I do want you to know that right off of the bat, this is telling me that the things that are moving you, that are rooted in exploration and creativity and starting something new, those are the things that are propelling you most forward right now. And they're the things to pay attention to, and they're the things to nurture. And I think that this upcoming transit of Mars in Virgo, especially if we really do lean into opening up our arms and maybe even like interlocking those arms with others, with our community, that Cancer season and Jupiter in Cancer is really encouraging us to do. Wow, we might be pretty unstoppable. Okay, so let's see what the Spirit Allies deck says about the Aries card specifically here. I'm very curious. So in this deck, the affirmation is, I embrace adventure. Greeting the morning sun, Aries is anxious to start the day. They've decided to get a workout in, enjoy their favorite breakfast, and then let the rest of the day arrive spontaneously. This fiery sign knows that each day is an opportunity for adventure. Aries is an inspiration to bring creative fire to each day. With enthusiasm and drive, you can create a life that excites you to wake up. Even if your schedule is packed, think of what you can do in your off hours. Shaking up a morning routine with yoga and meditation can leave you more prepared for the day. And following up the evening with journaling or reading your favorite book is an opportunity to enjoy the sweetness in life. Ignite your confidence within by believing in yourself to create your dream life. A journal prompt to continue exploring this is, what would excite me every day? How can I make that my reality? So This is so cool. Piggybacking off of our reading and astrology from last week, lots of fiery fuel from our Sagittarius full moon. I can't with my mispronunciations today. My full moon with the fuel and the fires that have probably been ignited by our Sagittarius full moon last week, with that support and feeling those hands at our back that Jupiter and Cancer and upcoming Cancer season are bringing us. It is giving us this undeniable sense of confidence. And even if it's not showing up as like really blatant confidence, there's drive there. There's motivation there. You want to know what planet rules Aries? Some of you already know. It's Mars. And so it's so fucking cool that we're pulling a Mars-ruled sign on the week of Mars shifting chapters into Virgo, into a sign that it feels very, very comfortable jumping in and taking action on, letting things move forward. There is probably a lot in trusting the journey and trusting the process right now, recognizing that pace and speed is unique to everyone. So do not get swept up in high energy, making you think that you have to go fast or like finish something quickly necessarily. But do follow the fires of momentum and inspiration and curiosity right now, because they are propelling you forward on quite a journey right now. They're really moving things forward for us. Oh, I love that reading this week. Such a good one. Such a good week. Thanks for being here, my friend. We are not going to be back until next Monday, so I will see you on the 23rd. Every 3-ish weeks or so, we are going to take a little break from just our regular podcast episode for the week. And this, which is so perfect for our reading this week, actually, this is a new thing that I'm testing out as a business owner and hopefully helping the team with a little bit. But this is going to be called like our creative week, where we can do a little bit of catch up. We could do a little bit of brainstorming. There's just a lot that we can do with the extra space of the week, skipping an episode over here. But we love Moonday. We all love Moonday. Danny loves Moonday. Moonday really helps me remember where we're at in time and astrology and transits. So we'll still be here every Monday. But we will be skipping our regular podcast episode this week. And I will see you again on Monday, the 23rd, when we are under a Cancer sun, my friend. My friend, thank you so much. You are such a valuable neighbor here, and you bring such a unique energy into our space and into our community. And I'm truly honored that I get to spend my time with you each week. If this was your first time here at Moonday Musings and That Witch podcast, don't forget to give us a follow and a subscribe on YouTube. If you were listening to the audio only and want to take a look at the imagery of the cards, don't forget to head over to YouTube, where you can just see these big, bright, beautiful cards in our reading each week on Moonday. And if you really liked what we talked about this week and it helped you in some way, I would be so grateful if you would share this video or this episode with a friend that you think would enjoy it, or even maybe shout us out on social media and share us that way. Thank you so much for your magic and for your time. Make sure, until I see you next time, that you are staying safe, my friend. Don't forget to keep having some fun. And of course, stay magical out there. Did you know about my YouTube channel? Head over to That Witch Next Door on YouTube and hit subscribe, and you can watch the podcast live. Well, it's not live, but it is video, and you do get to see me, and it really does kind of feel like we're hanging out. You can also follow me on Instagram at thatwitch.nextdoor, as well as Threads at the same username. I'm also over on TikTok, Facebook, and even Pinterest. Yes, my millennial heart is not apologetic of that at all. You can get all information in the show notes below, and don't forget to be subscribed to my email newsletter, where I exclusively drop the image for any weekly card readings, as well as exclusive discounts, announcements, releases, and more. You can head to thatwitchnextdoor.com to subscribe to my email list. And again, everything that you need is in the show notes below. Thanks again, neighbor, and I'll see you next time.